A man named James Watson. He won the Nobel Prize for his co-discovery of the DNA double helix. It's that twisty, turny thing we see in scientists sometimes they talk about DNA. It's become the symbol. He's one of the ones who's part of that discovery. His research has helped him. He shares in Time magazine how he was caught off guard when he, who is a scientist steeped in the knowledge of learning with his mind and his textbooks and his microscopes and his thinking about scientific things, he was asked by someone writing an article about his life, and he wanted to know where his faith came into his science and his study, and he was taken aback. Someone would think that there is such a thing as faith. He says, those who know me know that I've been a lifelong atheist, and I believe my faith is in our human nature to work together to improve our existence. That was his response. He believes that faith comes down to a working of our own human existence, a study of our own human existence, of who we are. And the more we can study ourselves, the more we can learn about ourselves. James Watson, who has received this estimable award among men, his belief, his teaching, his thought, his way of living is that there is no such thing as a God who is in control of everything, but it's all up to us. I don't know about you, but James Watson's belief is one that leaves us stressed out, leaves us devoid of any strength or any wisdom or any guidance. It's all resting on us. He talks about how being raised on the south side of Chicago in the 1930s, that his parents were not deeply religious. They didn't take him to church. His mother would go to church, and she made a commitment, asked him to make a commitment that he would go to church for some period of time in his life. He said, but by the time I got to be about 11 years of age, I realized that faith is really a matter of what you can think up within yourself. So I stopped going to services, rejecting the need for an all-knowing God like creator of our physical world. I followed the belief system, the atheistic belief system of my father. He talks about how early religions were simply created to give us a sense of rule, a sense of guide, a sense of how we should live, how we should behave. That was the whole purpose of the Ten Commandments. That's the belief of many today. That the whole purpose of faith, the whole purpose of religion is just to make us act right. It's just to keep us in line. But they're missing the personal relationship with our God and Savior, Jesus the Christ.
Yeah.
He's trapped in his belief that Darwin, evolution, and DNA give us a compelling alternative to the framework of Christ. And he said, why are you sharing this morning? Because many of us, even in the faith, we struggle with our personal relationship with Christ. That all of us, if we were to be honest, I was watching a friend of mine last night, his message he delivered at his church last week. He had everyone in his congregation stand up. And he listed a whole list that if we were to give the same list today, the result would be the same, of common struggles that people go through. Talked about the struggle of sometimes being selfish. Don't stand up this morning. He talked about the struggle of sometimes being narrow-minded and judgmental in thought. Don't raise your hands this morning. And by the time he got done giving this list of things that truth be told are common to us all, everyone in that congregation was standing up. And the same is true today, that all of us, regardless of where we are in life, we have our points of struggle. And everywhere that we struggle, we can attribute it to our relationship with Christ. We can attribute it to a place in our relationship with Christ where we're not connected with him, where we find ourselves connected to our own reasoning, our own thought, our own ways, and it leaves us devoid of any kind of hope of going further. And it's only through our relationship with God that we find the strength. We can live differently. James Watson has won this estimable award, but his life, if you read this article, he's trying to explain and come to grips with the void that is in his own life. He's talking as one of having confidence in his science, in his study. But you can hear in his word that he's also devoid of any kind of hope because he does not have a personal relationship with God. And my fear this morning that there are many that are in the church. There are some that are even here this morning. We've come to church. We've made our way on this rainy day. But the truth be told, our relationship with Christ is in trouble.